everyone, Dr. Robinson here with another webinar on technology and different commands. And today we're going to hit Zoom, how you get it set up for those teachers and parents that want to get this set up and going virtually with their kids, or if you've already gotten set up, how to make the advanced controls even better. And then we're going to hit a little docs, so work that you can do with your students on Google Docs, how to set up a formal MLA, APA paper, and how to have the kids just have a ball with some writing skills, and then a little Google Slides and anything else that we think of with any remaining time. Okay, let's get going on Zoom and how to change advanced settings. There are different ways to do this, but really I found the easiest way is open a browser, and you're just going to Alt-D or Control-L or click on your URL address. You're going to type in zoom.us. That easy. Hit enter and load your page. Then you're going to go all the way to the right-hand side, and you're going to click on My Account. Okay? And click on it, and of course you're going to log in. If you have not done so, I use Zoom all the time, so I am automatically logged in. When you set up, so we're going to go through what we call the tree view over on the left-hand side. Room management is a big one. But right now, just go to your profile. Here's your personal ID. So this is where people get into problems if with hackers. If this is given out without passwords or without specific links, I'm going to actually show you how you can do a secure call to your classroom so there's not going to be any issues. So just be very careful with this number. And of course all your sign is in here. Let's go ahead and scroll down and make sure all your information is in here. Okay, so allow Zoom to get calendar events, which is really, really nice because then it will pop up in your Zoom account. So I'm going to hit my Windows key and type in Zoom because this is the window probably most people are familiar with, right? Okay, and you click on Home, click on Chat, Meetings, Contacts. You may be doing it that way. So this is this page determines everything on your call window. Okay, here we go. Now make sure that is all straightened out, and let's go back to meetings. Okay, you are going to schedule a new meeting. This is the the safest way to set up a meeting. Schedule a meeting. Type it in, world history, technology, STEM, whatever it is. When it is going to be, just easy combo boxes. Just click on them and change to what you need. Okay, we're just going to keep it there. How long is it going to be? Your time zone. Is this a recurring meeting? So then you don't have to set it up. If you're meeting at 2 o'clock every single day, all you have to do is click that box and you're done. Okay, daily, you can change it to weekly, monthly. Okay, so you only have to do it once. Registration, is it required? Okay, if your school is one of the schools that were hacked, yeah, probably you want to make sure everyone's registered. Then only they can get in. You can generate a meeting ID automatically, or you can use your personal ID. Don't use your personal ID. That's the bottom line. You're going to generate an automatic meeting ID, and I'm going to show you how you're going to do that. Required meeting password, you can make it even more protected. So you can click require meeting password, and of course you can change your password to whatever. Okay? That makes Zoom very, very safe. Okay, who gets video? Most often the teacher. You are the host, and you're going to click on. The participants can come in and you can click off. So you can mute them and you can turn off their videos so no one is seeing anything. Audio. Okay, you can join by telephone or computer audio, or both. Depends on who your students are. Here we go. Enable join before host. That's really handy. Okay, so if the teacher, you're not there yet, doesn't matter. You have kids joining the room, and of course no one else knows anybody else is there because there's no video, and you're going to turn off the audio. Mute participants upon entry, and then you can totally decide who's going to talk and who's not going to talk based on what you do in Zoom. Okay, so you're going to mute them. Enable a waiting room. Well, if you have enabled join before host, you can enable waiting room, but you don't need to. Only authenticated users can join. There you go. There is your protection mode that hackers cannot get in. Okay? Only your students. Breakout room pre-assign. You can pre-assign them, but you also don't know who's going to show up that day. So you might not want to do that one. Record the meeting automatically. This one's hugely advantageous. You can, when you open Zoom, just automatically do an Alt-R to start recording. But maybe you want every single thing recorded. Once again, you're setting this up so you don't have to worry about what is going to happen when you join on. Because let's face it, your brain's already full of what you're going to do for your lesson. So automatically record it, and then you can actually send that recording out to your students afterwards to refer back to. Save it when you're done. Okay, so we're just going to, oh, I actually need to set it up. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to send it out. I'm going to copy my invitation. Okay, this is just, like I said, there's different ways to do it. It's automatically going to set it up. It's going to create a different meeting ID. So I'm going to copy invitation. Okay, there's my invitation, copy meeting invitation. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to my mail account, and I am going to paste it in to the email. Here I go. Control T. I'm going to just type in gmail.com because most people have Gmail accounts. C to create. Okay, there's the create. I'm going to send it to myself. Okay, Denise M. Robinson. And Zoom, okay, so let's English, keep it easy. Tab, and then Control V to paste. There it is. And your students are going to get this meeting ID completely protected. No one can get into it. You send it out to them. The kids only have to click the link and they automatically join in. Incredible control, okay? And I'm just going to click send on that. Okay, let's go back. Here are, maybe you want to do breakout rooms. Okay, so you can set up webinars. Yeah, big feature. Here's your recordings. There's the recordings already done. Other settings. Okay, so this makes it even more specific. Join before host. You already set that up. Let's go down to breakout rooms, which is what people typically want to do. But go through here, check every single upcoming meeting reminders. Maybe you want that on. Mute participants upon entry. We already know we want to turn that on, okay? And this is a global setting. So you do want to go in to that tree view item, okay, in your settings, and you want to make sure everyone is muted so they're not talking, so you can actually join and immediately have a conversation with them. So do go through all of these features in your zoom.us to have it be exactly as you want. Now remember, these features are only going to be set up and working if you go the route of setting up your meeting from here, okay? And of course, previous meetings, personal meetings, meeting templates. You could actually set up a meeting template also for this. But this is the meeting that you're going to set up that we already set up for today. Okay? Now, let me show you how to actually do Zoom. I'm going to start your Zoom. This is the box that everybody is really familiar with. So you've got your personal meeting ID. You can start here. All your contacts. You can chat with your students, home, of course, and starting new meetings. This may be the way you're most familiar with, but you can also go the top right-hand corner and click on that, and you can go to your settings here. Do make sure you're checking for your updates also. But you can go to your settings, and here is your general information. And you need to go through each one of these to see what you want to do. And your video, hey, touch up your appearance, hey, while you're here. And make sure your audio is working, and this is what you're going to actually show your students also. And you can even send them this video so they can make sure everything is set up correctly on their Zoom. Chat, so we have hotkeys for all of these, which are really nice. I'm going to start a meeting and I will take you through the hotkeys so the students don't have to look for it with a mouse. Recording, I automatically record on my computer because you're going to quickly use up your cloud recording space. 1.1 is used, but 1 gig is used up very, very fast with video or audio. Here's your advanced features. So when you need to go to advanced features and change more things, you can click on that. And of course, it immediately takes you back to the original window where I took you before. You can check your statistics. Here's all the keyboard commands that I'm going to go over with you. They are really nice to use, just much faster than, clicking with a mouse, but that's totally up to you, just so you know you have options. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to my meeting, and I'm going to start my meeting. Now, if this is the way you're joining your meeting, you can give your students this meeting, your personal meeting ID to join. This is the meeting that's coming up. There I am. I've already scheduled it. So when it's ready, it's going to give me information, remind me, and of course I can click on it and start it. But I also told kids, hey, you can join before me. Don't we love that? Okay, let's go ahead and click and start. Okay, enlarge your window. Windows up arrow will do that also. Every command begins with Alt, so we can start over here at end meeting. Alt Q will end it very quickly. Here's my breakout rooms, so I can click there. Depending on how many kids you have, the number will come up here. I'm going to tell you, Zoom's already done all the hard work and done written the great algorithm to go ahead and pair up your students perfectly, which is much faster also, so students don't get bored. Create your rooms that way, and they can go ahead and do that. Here's your record button. So what you can do is, if you're doing it through your Start Zoom box, just Alt-R or record on this computer. Okay, remember, your cloud, 1 gigabyte, will be used up incredibly fast, and then you get to pay for more space if you go that route. It's easy to record right to your computer. Chat, Alt-H. You can tell the kids Alt-H. Okay, hi everyone. And of course, it immediately populates. So as kids text, so if you're muting them all, go ahead and tell the command, hey, go ahead and do Alt-H, start chatting with each other, and then verbally you still have control over the classroom when you enter. And this is how you're going to control everybody, all their mute and everything, and let me show you how to do that. Here's your share screen. Might as well hit Manage Participants right now. As soon as you hit Manage Participants, you're going to get a whole lot of options over here. So you can unmute the person. What you're going to do, since everyone's going to be muted, here's mute all also. If you accidentally didn't set it up correctly, you can mute all immediately. You can also unmute everyone. You can click on your More option, and you actually, tons of options right there, okay? So you can do that. And what's nice is I like the chime because I like to hear when other students are entering. That might be distracting to you. Once again, just options. If you have muted everybody, you can tell them to do Alt-Y to raise their hand. I can't raise my own hand, but you'll actually see a tiny little hand, and of course it'll go ding, so you can actually hear it also if you put a chime. You see the ding, or you hear the ding, and you see the hand, and you can say, hey, Bob, go ahead and ask your question, and then you can go and actually unmute them, okay, because you've told them all to be muted. You click on mute, okay? And it's muted, unmute. That easy, just click on it. Okay, so that's how you handle that. Let's go ahead and go to share screen. Beautiful. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how to do video also, which is very easy. I've got 3 screens, so I've got options. Whiteboard is really cool. So sharing a screen, you just click on it, and of course, if you've got a video that you want to show the kids, make sure you click Share Computer Sound so they can actually hear it, because they're not going to be able to hear it. Me speaking is a totally different sound option than sharing computer sound. Okay? So just make sure you check that, and then of course you click Share. I'm going to go ahead and show you Whiteboard, which is really kind of cool. So you can share. This is Whiteboard. Hey, let's, hi, okay, yeah, let's check my cursive here. Woo. Okay, and, stamps, you can do anything that you want to. Ooh, yeah, click on that. And we can play around with that. There's text, hi there, keeping it easy. So you can do math problems if you're teaching math, which is really great for the STEM. Okay, let's go ahead and close that, and I'm going to stop sharing. That option takes me right back to the window. Alt-S immediately stops. All these commands are toggles. Okay, so if you Alt-Y to raise your hand, you can tell the student, go ahead and Alt-Y. You're the teacher, you don't have to do all the work. And the kids love to be part of this too. Invite, let's say a student texts you on the phone or whatever, says their internet's down and they can only join by phone. You can go ahead and give them your meeting ID number. As you recall, your meeting ID number is right there in the blue box, and you can give them your meeting ID number, and they can actually just punch that in, join meeting, and immediately connect up also. You can invite more students this way. You can actually just start the meeting and hit invite, and here's all your students, and you type in their name, and you can just copy invitation. And actually, as soon as you click someone, you can immediately invite them that fast. You can also do it through email, like I showed you before. You can go ahead and click your email. So we're going to copy invitation, and we click Gmail, and it instantly opens. And all you have to do is type in your students' names. There you are. And of course, it immediately populates and you send. We'll just send me another one. Yep, I'm going to have all sorts of Zoom meetings and send. Okay, and then I get that in my email. So really, really nice. So back to the recording. What's really nice is every student learns at a different space. So you record this, and it's immediately going to populate when you get done. Since I'm doing a share screen, I'm going to go ahead and just going to record a few seconds. So when I close this, you're going to see it populate. Okay, Alt Q, I'm going to end it, or click, here we go, space bar, and end meeting for all. And it all ends. Wow, that populated. Okay, well, you saw that for 2 seconds. Here it is. Okay, this is the MP4, so this is going to be the video and the audio. This is audio only, and playback audio. So if I click on my Zoom, here we go, let's just open it. There we are. Okay, I did not have my share screen or my video on, so of course you didn't see anything, but of course you're going to share screen, you're going to turn your video on, really, really easy. Now, let me show you how you're going to do it with your camera. So a lot of people are asking, well, how do I just video myself? You can pick up a very cheap little HD camera. Actually, let me show you the one I have. I'm going to Control T, good old Amazon.com. We love it. And I'm going to, yep, I just need to do a search. HD LifeCam, very, very inexpensive. So these are the little LifeCams. This is actually the one I have. 139 bucks. You can get them for even cheaper, 125. Any of these will work. Okay, and you put them on your desktop, and then let me show you the power of it. So I'm going to hit my Windows key. I'm going to type in camera. There's my camera. I'm going to hit it and enter and open. Oh, there I am. Let's maximize the window. Okay, so here's your video. Nothing, no cost. Okay, you can video in Zoom also, which is really nice, but you can click, hi, how you doing? Welcome students, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to end your video, go down to the very bottom right-hand corner. There it is. Click your play. Okay, that audio is not great, so I highly suggest turning up your volume. Oh yeah, I'm using my audio in Zoom, so it's conflicting. Here's your share option, okay? So click your share, how do you want to share it? Or click your 3 dots, top right-hand corner, open your folder, go ahead, right-click on it. You want to rename this so you can find it later, okay? Because remember, on all computers, whoops, try again, it's still in use. Let me cancel that, let me go back to my camera. Make sure you close it, okay? Because you cannot rename something that's already open. Now I'm going to right-click, rename, find it later, and enter. Because remember, your Windows key is a search to the world. So even if you don't remember, this is the path name, PC, Windows, users, D, OneDrive, Bob and Jackie family, camera roll. Oh my gosh, that's a lot to remember. You can just hit your Windows key and you can type in find it. Oh, there it is. Find it later. Remember, your Windows key is a search to the world. All you have to do is, you don't even have to remember the title. If this is a paper, you can just, on General Washington, and you didn't label it General Washington, you can type in General Washington and your computer will find it. It's very smart. Very AI, artificial intelligence, oh yeah. Okay, let's Alt-Tab back. So that's how you can use your video camera directly on your computer. Castify allows 5 minutes, so you're going to need to talk fast. if you have a drawn out lesson or idea. You can do all your recording right on Zoom. Once again, oh my gosh, it makes it so easy. I'm not going to be able to share sound, but I can share screen. I'm going to hit enter on that. I'm going to share computer sound, so if I have something going, it will actually pick up my sound. So now I'm sharing my screen, okay? And I have to Alt-Tab back to my meeting controls. Meeting controls, visually you won't see it. It comes up at the top, very top, or you may have it pinned someplace else. There is the More option. I'm going to end meeting now. Oh, I forgot to record it, okay? So once I'm up here, click and record to this computer just so you can see the share screen. The video option, since I'm on that, I can just go ahead and do video option also. Just stop my video. And let's go ahead and end it so now you can see it populate a little bit slower. Oh yeah, there it is. Convert meeting recording. Here we go. And there it is. Once again, you're going to go ahead and pull it up. There you are. Okay? Okay, so next, let's go ahead and hit how our kids actually do Zoom training. And in this time of great need for virtual instruction, as all the schools are closing, and of course people need to be able to connect to their schools and classes online, this is how you do Zoom, since this is one of the primary platforms that the schools are using. So as soon as you open it, you are going to have, let me left arrow.
Chat 1, home tab, check selected.
Okay, so you're going to have 4 tabs, or basically what we call menus. And the way I explain it to the blind kids is picture 4 pieces of paper. So you have your home tab, and you're going to move around that piece of paper and have all sorts of options. You're going to right arrow.
Chat 1 unread messages tab, check.
And you have your chat option. You're going to tab around and have many options in that window.
Red message, meetings tab, check.
Meetings tab, you are going to tab around that window and have many options. Right arrow.
Contacts tab, check.
And in your contacts, you're going to tab around and have many options. So now let's get down to the basics on how our students are going to join in and connect to people in classrooms.
Home tab, check select.
We're back to home. If the student is required to call in, home and contacts are going to be the easiest way to do it. It totally depends on how the teachers are going to give them their connection. One way, and it's probably going to be the primary way, is they're going to send a link in their email. So we'll hit that first, then we'll come back and show you how to connect in using home. So I'm going to open my browser.
1, taskbar. Mozilla Firefox, blank, Gmail for...
So they're going to open their browser and they're going to hit the letter X down to...
X table, column 1, row 1, main region, tab X.
I'm going to just keep going.
X.
Oh, insert Z.
Off.
Okay, off. Now I'm going to go ahead and down arrow.
Unread, HP, important, unread, me, please join Zoom.
Okay, for the me, they're actually going to have the teacher's name there. And then they're going to go ahead.
Call 402. Please join Zoom meeting in progress.
And right arrow to please join Zoom meeting. Now, if they have the cursor on, they're going to just hit X to the X box, and then they're going to down arrow to please join meeting in progress.
Please
Hit enter.
Zoom meeting in progress. Edit. Type in text.
All they have to do is down arrow to the link. They will not have a password to this. This happens to be a particular meeting ID that I have for another account. They can just down arrow to that link, hit enter, and open it, and they will join in on class. So now let's go back and show you the other ways students can actually join in on classes. So let's Alt F4.
F4, taskbar.
Here we are. Let's Alt Tab to put Zoom into focus.
Zoom Pro account. To move to an item, press the arrow key.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. We are on the Home tab. And what you're going to notice as you listen and watch this video is you're going to hear identical operations when you move from your 4 main menu items into the pages. I'm on Home. Now I'm going to tab.
Search, edit, type in text.
You're going to hear search on each one of the menu items.
Zoom, Denise Robinson, status available.
You're going to hear that. Zoom, the status of who you are.
Setting button to activate, press space bar.
Okay, most you'll hear settings, but not all.
Starting a new meeting with video on button to activate, press space bar.
Okay, start a new meeting. Most students are not going to be required to start their own meeting, but you can right there. The students are going to join.
Option button drop down. Join button to activate. Press
And
space
bar.
Space. Please enter your meeting ID
Okay.
and personal link name edit. Type.
Now, remember what I said back in the Firefox, that meeting ID, and that is the number you are going to type in there. You type in the meeting ID, it's 3 numbers, 2 numbers, 3 numbers, and then you tab.
History list button drop down.
And I do have a join history,
Space list box.
an extensive join history, and those are all of my codes.
Escape meeting history list button drop.
Okay, so once the student uses it, all they have to do is go to their drop-down menu, makes it much easier, hit enter on that meeting ID.
Please enter your name edit. Denise
Okay,
Robinson.
there's my name.
Do not connect the audio checkbox not checked.
Okay, the teacher may and or may not. There's a lot of teachers who are just learning this platform also. If you join with your audio and the teacher says, please stop your audio, that's going to be Alt-A. Alt-A is a toggle to start and stop audio. So that's going to be up to whether you have that checked or not. It does not matter. You've got the hotkey, Alt-A, and that will start and stop your audio.
Turn off my video checkbox checked.
Okay. Most students, the teacher wants to see that they're there, so you probably want to uncheck that.
Space, not
Once
checked.
again, video, Alt-V is going to start and stop your video, and then you tab
Cancel button to act join meeting.
to join meeting. I, of course, don't have a meeting set up, so I'm not going to be joining a meeting on this recording. And I will actually connect other end screens to this video so you can actually see other students and myself doing Zoom, so you can become even more acquainted with it. Let's hit escape.
Escape join button unavailable to
Okay.
activate.
Now, and all your features, share screen is going to be Alt-S. And most teachers don't want to hear your audio, so you're just going to do Alt-S and you're just going to tab to share screen. That's it. As you tab, you're going to hear share computer sound. You're not going to do that because your teacher is not going to want to hear your talking software. You can also schedule that, but you don't have to worry. Your teacher will be sending you these links. Lest you can either shift tab or tab back up to your home button. I'm just going to tab forward.
Schedule button to share screen button. Share option button. Friday, March 13th. Change background image. No upcoming meeting. Home tab check selected.
And we're back to
Pages.
home.
Press
Okay. Now you can right arrow.
Chat 1 unread messages tab.
Okay, so you can tab in here and text someone.
Search edit. Type in text.
Okay, you can actually type in the name.
D-E-N-I-E. Denise menu. Search in messages for Denise.
Yep.
Press enter to view Denise Robinson.
And down arrow and hit enter.
Enter. Leaving menus. What's on your mind? Edit. What's
Okay.
on your mind? Type in text.
It immediately pops me to my text box, so I can say, Oops. Mispronounced that one. Okay. What is the assignment today? And enter. That easy. So once you're on chat, you tab to search, you type in the person's name, you automatically jump right to the text box, and you type in the text. That easy, that fast. Let's tab back around.
Chat 1 unread messages tab check.
And I'm back to chat. Let's go ahead and go to meeting.
Tab check selected. To
Okay.
switch pages. Press.
now, if the teacher sets up you and another student that you need to join together and call someone, this is just one way of doing it. Let me go ahead and show you how to do this. You're in your meetings. Now tab.
Search edit. Type in text.
Keep going.
Zoom. Denise Robinson. Refresh button to activate. Press upcoming
Keep
meeting.
going.
Tab check. Schedule meeting button.
And by the way, on the upcoming meetings, as soon as you're scheduled in, it will come here. Okay?
My personal meeting ID PMI 8053.
Yep.
My personal meeting ID PMI. Personal meeting ID. Start meeting button to
Here's
activate. Press.
start meeting. Now you can tab to copy invitation, and you can edit this also. I'm just going to take it from start button and spacebar.
Space. Zoom.
Here we go. Windows up arrow to
Windows up arrow.
maximize.
You are using the computer audio.
Okay, now let's go through the commands. If you're visual, you'll actually see red lines strike through the options. So the first thing I'm going to do is Alt-A.
Alt audio now muted.
Okay,
You are muted. Press Alt A to unmute your microphone or press
and it tells you, talking software tells you, Alt-A and
Alt
unmute. Okay, start video, Alt-V.
audio Alt V.
Okay,
Video
there's
now
a video. Hi everybody. Okay, Alt-V and stop.
Alt V. Video
Okay.
now stop.
So if you need to show your students something, Often, like when the students get stuck on their Braille, they can actually turn on their video and actually show you the Braille or the Nemeth code, and I can help them with the video with the Braille or Nemeth. Invite, all I.
All I, menu bar, leaving menus, invite people to join
Okay.
meeting dates,
Tab.
contacts, tab, type and select a person, type to filter edit.
So this is how easy this is. Let's see, who am I going to invite? Let's do,
invite people to join meeting
Okay.
dates, zero list box.
and list box, down arrow. So you tab once, down arrow, and there she is. Now, she's not online, but if I hit enter on her name, then the invite highlights and I can tab right to invite.
Copy URL
But she's
to activate.
not online. I could copy the URL and actually send that in email.
Copy invitation.
I can copy the invitation and send that via email.
Contacts tab, check selected.
Okay.
To switch pages, press control page down.
Okay, I'm going to control page down to email.
Email tab, check selected.
Or
To
just
switch
right
pages,
arrow.
Press control page down.
And here you are in email, and you can just email this.
Choose your email service, the default email button,
Okay.
the Gmail button to activate, press
And
spacebar.
spacebar.
Space, Zoom meeting ID.
And we go to email.
805-357-9519. ZP toolbar parent.
I'm going to hush them up. Okay, we're going to pretend we're just setting this to me.
Okay. Combo, main region.
Okay, and then tab in and just listen to your meeting.
Subject edit. Please join Zoom meeting in progress. Type in text.
And so you're already going to have this. This is going to pop up in your person's email, all the other your teammates that you're sending this to.
Message body edit contains text. Type in
And
text.
here it is. So,
HTTPS.
there it is.
J8 built blank. Meeting ID.
meeting ID. You don't need the meeting ID, but you can still have it. This meeting ID will work for absolutely anyone. This happened to be my meeting ID, so if you know, I am doing a lesson at 3 o'clock on Wednesday, and there's just different ways you can join. So your teachers will send this Zoom meeting, but you don't have to have it as long as you have the teacher's meeting ID. You can just type it in, and it will go. I'm going to control enter and send this.
Alert, message
That's
sent.
it. Okay, Alt F4.
Alt F4. Zoom meeting ID 805-357.
Now, Alt Q is quit. Let's go through chat. So you're going to do Alt H.
Alt H. Zoom group chat.
Okay.
What
was that?
Enter from me to everyone. What was that?
Okay.
Zoom meeting.
And what's so great is everybody's going to be texting.
T.
You will hear this also. So this is just really easy. So let me show you another trick. So you want to shift tab one time.
More chat options button drop down.
Okay, more chat options, spacebar.
Space context menu to navigate. Press up or down arrow. Save chat.
Okay, so you can save chat to refer to later. Let's say if it's a math class and they put a whole bunch of math in there.
No one unchecked.
Okay, no one.
Host only.
Host
unchecked.
only. So you can actually text the teacher, which is going to be the host.
Everyone publicly unchecked.
Okay, everyone publicly or.
Everyone publicly and privately checked.
Okay, so you can hit enter on any one of those and it will automatically go to them. Okay, hit escape.
Escape.
And now tab around to your close box.
Input chat text type message meeting information button.
Okay,
Copy URL button C.
and hit escape.
Escape.
Okay, let's go through other ones. You've got your chat option. Raise your hand. Alt Y.
Alt Y leaving menus. More chat options button drop down.
I can't raise my own hand myself. Okay, make sure your meeting controls are in focus and Alt Y, and you will raise your hand to get the teacher's attention. Okay, if you want to record this, ask the teacher to record this. Now, Alt R will immediately start recording it, but I am the host. I can tell you, if you're the host, you can go ahead and record with Alt R. It will record it right to your computer. But if your teacher is, ask them to Alt R, record the lesson, then they can send you the recording. I'm going to exit out of here with Alt Q.
Alt Q, end meeting or leave meeting.
Yep,
To key
and
space,
enter.
start meeting button unavailable.
Okay.
To active.
Now, let's do another option. Let's go ahead and tab.
Copy meeting invitation inform edit
Tab
meeting
again.
button. To act.
Keep
Show
going.
meeting invitation button. To active meetings tab check
Okay.
selected.
So all of those are exactly the same. Copy invitation, you're going to show meeting invitation, but it's much faster to start it and then just send it out. Let's go ahead and right arrow.
Contacts tab check selected.
Okay,
To
this
switch.
is an incredibly easy way to call. So I'm going to go ahead and tab around again.
Search edit. Type in text.
Okay, let's say you want to populate someone's name right to the top. So I'm just going to type in a student.
Leaving menus. Microsoft.
And down arrow.
Finboke status is
There he
offline.
is.
Content
And
or
enter.
chat. Finboke. Leaving menus. Message Finboke.
Okay, you can text your student. Okay, are you ready? I'm not going to do this. He's offline and I don't want him to accidentally get this later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tab back to contacts.
Chat 1 unread messages. Tab
Chat.
selected.
It's one of my 4 or 2 of my 4, so on the right arrow.
Meetings. Tab contacts. Tab check.
Now I'm in my contacts. Let's say he texts me. He says, yes, I'm ready. So I'm going to go ahead and call.
Search edit. Type in
Keep
text.
going.
Boom. Denise Robinson.
Again.
Directory. Tab check selected.
Okay.
Switch pick. Directory and channel button drop
Okay.
down.
Directory and channel drop down. Let's say you need to add someone here. Hit spacebar.
Space context menu to navigate.
Okay.
Press up or down arrow. Add a contact.
And you can add a contact here. If you go down, you can create a channel, join a channel, add an app. But we want to add a contact, so you're just going to hit enter on that.
Leaving menus.
Okay, let's just
type
someone in here. Okay, so I'm adding Denise M. Robinson at yourtechvision.com. I'm just going to tab
Add contact button to
and hit
activate
spacebar. Okay, and tab.
An invitation has been sent to Dennis M. Robinson, your Vision. OK button
And
to add
spacebar.
space. Directory.
So this invitation will go out similar to the meeting ID that I showed you, and the person will accept it, and they will actually come up in my groups. Now let's take a look at the groups.
Directory list box.
Okay,
To move
list
to an item,
box.
press the arrow keys.
Okay, and it tells you move to list box, and now down arrow.
Start. 12 members. Thaddeus Berlin Milner. Status
Okay.
offline.
So let's say she is online. This is a person I want to call. I'm going to tab.
Chat button to activate.
Okay.
Press spacebar.
We're already past the chat, but we've got chat here also. Okay.
Meet with video button to activate. Press spacebar.
As soon as I hit enter on that, I would go into the exact same window that I was in before when I was in meetings. Now, if this is a person you're using constantly, tab one more time.
Button to activate.
Okay.
Press spacebar.
Your more options. Now hit spacebar.
Space context menu to navigate. Press up or down arrow. Meet with video.
Okay, you can meet with video. So here's all your other little items. If you don't remember the Alt V and Alt A and all the other alts, just remember all your commands start with Alt, so it makes it really, really easy to remember. Let's go ahead and go down.
Without video.
Okay.
Notify me when available.
Okay, this is very, very handy. So if you're the one that's making the call to your group, you can just hit notify me when available, and you'll actually go off and do your other work, and you'll hear a ding, notify me when available, and it will say that it is available. And you can alt tab right back to your Zoom meeting and start joining them.
Like others.
Okay, you can invite others.
Unstar this
Okay,
contact.
this is going to say star this contact because, of course, all of these are my students, and of course I quickly connect to them, but I've starred them so they're at the very, very top. You also have block contact, clear chat history, and delete contact. I'm going to hit escape out of that.
Escape.
Okay, so those are the basics. Those are very, very handy. Zoom is incredibly easy to use. All those options. The big one for our students or anyone who might have difficulties in following along a lesson is asking the instructor to do Alt-R to record the lesson so you can have them send you the lesson, and it will come to you either as an MP4 or an MP3. And if you get the wrong lesson sent to you, just ask them. Many people don't know the difference between MP3 and MP4. Remember, MP3 is audio, MP4 is audio and video. So that is how easy Zoom is. There's a lot more facets to this. Those are the basics. This is to get people up and running. Let's go off to Chrome, and do use Chrome. Firefox does seem to be having some issues with talking software. So I'm going to go ahead and use Chrome, and let's go off to Docs and create an MLA or APA paper. The original of how you set one up is exactly the same. Citations are just different. So I'm going to go ahead and use my hotkey Windows 2 and open Chrome.
Taskbar. My Drive, Google Chrome.
Okay. Now, if you do not instantly pop into yours, computers do remember where you were at. So all you have to do is Alt-D, type in drive.google.com, and of course sign in. Here we are. We are in Drive.
Grid not selected. Map Google Drive.
Okay. And let me refresh your memory that as soon as you get in, you do pop into your list view. We want to insert Z, cursor off, so we can actually move around and, of course, create the command of Shift-T in order to get into our document. So let's Shift-T.
Untitled Google Chrome.
Okay, and I am going to change my schemes here. Okay, so before we get going, I'm going to insert Alt-S.
Select a scheme dialog. List one list view. Web red a crowd.
Okay, that's going to be way more information than I want, so I'm just going to
Word Classic.
down arrow to Word Classic. When you are proofreading, when you are actually making corrections to your paper, you do want to choose P. For proofreading, when you're doing math, of course, you want your attributes on, so classic attributes. So do remember, insert Alt-S when you want to change your schemes and have JAWS talk a different way. I'm going to hit enter on that.
Scheme Word Classic. Untitled.
So we are going to insert a header and page numbers. So what I want you to do is try Alt-I first. If Alt-I does not work, you're going to do Alt-Shift-I and just maintain that. So let me go ahead and try Alt-I.
Menu. Insert.
It does.
4 of 10. To move through items, press up
Okay,
and up.
and I'm just going to hush them up. And if you remember that headers and footers is H, great. Go ahead and hit your H to go down there. If you're not sure of any of the commands, make sure you down arrow. So I'm going to hit H for headers.
Header H. Control Alt O. Control Alt H.
And it does tell you that command. You can do it, but the way you're going to do that is you're going to do Control Alt, hold that down, hit O, and then hit H, and then it will open. If you have OpenBook on your computer, you're going to actually see OpenBook open also. So I have it. That's the reason why I need to go this direction. Anyway, hit enter on that.
Leaving menus. Frame.
Beautiful.
Document, content edit.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. Now, the commands are very similar in Word, but you add the Shift key to a lot of these. So I'm going to Control Shift R to get to the right.
Control Shift R. Right alignment.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and type my last name.
O-N. Robinson.
Okay, and now
Document.
I need to insert my page number. That is insert again, so Alt-I.
Alt-I. Menu. Insert.
Okay.
To move through items, press up
I'm
and
going
up.
to go ahead and I could down arrow to page number, but I'm going to go ahead and use G to pop there.
G. 1 of 3.
Okay, and I know the first one of 3, is what I want to do, so I'm going to hit enter on that.
Leaving menus. Frame.
Okay.
Document. Content edit. Type of text.
The advantage of putting your page numbers in here is it doesn't matter how many pages you're going to be doing, it will automatically have your last name and the page number, the correct page number. If it's 2 or 102, it's going to be reading correctly. Hit escape twice and get out.
Enter in document.
Oh, only once. We love that. Okay, so we need to apply double spacing to this. So this is a format thing. So I'm going to Alt-O.
O. Menu. Format. 5 of 10. To move through items, press up or down arrow.
And I could down arrow to line spacing, but I know line spacing is L. So I'm going to go ahead and hit L.
1.5 not checked. 3
Okay.
of 10.
And I want to go down to double.
Double not checked. 4
And
of
I want to
10.
hit enter on that.
Enter. Leaving menus. Frame. Document. Content edit.
Okay, I'm just going to move my mouse cursor out of the way there. Okay, so now I want to put my first and last name. Okay.
Robinson.
Now,
Soft. Candidate. UI.
yep, one thing I immediately forgot is I forgot to do Times New Roman 12. So I'm just going to do a Control A.
Title. Document. Google.
And the fastest way I've discovered to do this is just go to your help menu. So I'm going to do Alt-H,
Alt H. Menu. Help.
down arrow one time,
The menus.
start typing times. There's Times New Roman, and I hit enter.
Document. Google.
Next thing is size, same thing, Alt-H,
Alt H. Menu. Help.
down arrow one time, size,
Menus. Untitled.
and down arrow to 12.
Font. Size. Enter.
Okay.
Menus. Frame.
Easy, easy, easy. Okay? So if you forget to do that, and I'm going to tell you, I forgot to do that in the header, so I would need to go back up to the header and do that. But, you know, the stress of teaching a webinar, I love that. But anyway, do remember to change to Times New Roman 12, which is essential. So I'm going to hit my enter.
New line.
Okay, we put our teacher next, hit enter. Subject, next, enter. And the appropriate date is always full day, full month, full year. So I'm going to go ahead and do for April 2020 and enter. Okay. We need to center a title, so Control Shift E. Remember all those commands that you learned in Word, you just have to add the shift here, Control Shift E, and put your title here. Hit enter. Okay, if Control Shift R is right align, Control Shift E is center, Control Shift L is going to get you back to the left. Okay. Now we need to tab one time to start our story. Okay. So the assignment you want to give to children is think of something fun. Think of an adventure. Think of something that you absolutely want to do in your life and just write about it and write it passionately. Talk to them about adjectives and really describing things in detail. Now, in here, you also want them to be able to add pictures into it. It does not matter whether they're blind or sighted or visually impaired. We are writing for a sighted world because a very small population is blind and visually impaired. And we want our children to know how to do images also. So let's just hit enter here and let's insert our images. So it's an insert, Alt-I. Okay, and down arrow. It's going to be an image, right arrow. Well, if you have a picture already on your computer, great. You're just going to hit enter on that, and you're going to go to your most familiar dialog box, and we can do that, just so you can see how easy it is. Okay, file name. I'm going to Alt-D and type in PIC and down arrow to pictures. So Alt-D to our look-in, PIC, down arrow to pictures, and enter. Okay. Just for speed's sake, I'm going to go ahead and Alt-N back down, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture. So Alt-N, and I'm going to just type in two of us at a wonderful party. Actually, how about 20/40 vision? Oh yeah. Okay. Now, the next thing is kids need to know what size they're actually inserting into a document. So I'm going to Control-Shift-Left arrow to select. Okay. And once you select it, you actually need to change the size if it's too big. But the child has to find out how big it actually is. Have them hit their applications key. If they do not have an applications key or a right click, Shift F10 will do the identical thing. Typically, applications key are the second key to the right of your space bar, and it's just a square box with lines on it for those who are sighted, who are helping their students. So let's go ahead and hit our applications key. Okay, this is a format thing, so I'm going to go ahead and up arrow to my format.
Paste, Control V, 3 copy, Control C, cut, update, apostrophe, select all matching, Alt, text, Control
You
Alt.
do need to alt text this, so Control Alt Y, remember that.
Image options.
Okay, image options. Let's see what our image options are. Hit enter.
Enter, leaving menus, image options.
Okay, we're going to tab in.
Close button.
Nope.
Size button.
Yes.
Tab collapse.
Space or enter,
Expanded.
and open, and tab in.
Width, measured in inches. Value must be between 0.01 and 66.
Okay.
Edit, 4.6.
4.65. That's kind of big. You could make this smaller. It depends on who your audience is. But this is a very large picture. And then you want to tab to height and listen.
Height, measured in inches. Value must be
Okay.
between 0.01 and 66. Edit, 5.08.
Okay, 5, that is very large. The first thing you want to do is tab to make sure your lock aspect ratio is checked. If it's checked, you only have to change one of these options, and I always tell the students, change the largest option. So let's tab to make sure our lock aspect ratio is checked.
Scale, measured in height. Scale, measured lock aspect ratio. Checkbox checked.
It is.
Checkmark, press space.
So that's actually where you need to go, is lock aspect ratio. Now we're going to shift tab back to height because we heard that it was 5 inches and that was much larger, or the largest number. So we know we did that 3 times. So I'm going to sit on my shift and tab back 1, 2, 3 times.
Value must be between 0.01 and 66. Edit, 5.08.
Okay.
Type of text.
I typically tell kids, get pictures down to like 2.5 inches. So it doesn't take up the whole page. This is a 5 by 8 piece of paper, so you don't want something taking up so much of the size. So since the width was 4.63, almost 5, we're thinking I can probably go down by 2. So I'm going to make this 3.8.
3.0 Image
Okay.
size changed to 2.1.
And I'm going to hush them up, and everything changes automatically down to 20/40 size perfectly. Now, text wrapping is also going to determine how it's going to be placed on your piece of paper. So I'm just going to continue to tab down.
Skip height, lock at angle, rotate.
Yeah, so you can put an angle on it and rotate. So this is going to be a really fun story for the kids. Have them do an angle and have them rotate it. Make the pictures look fun and funny.
Text wrapping.
Okay.
Tab elapsed.
Text wrapping is the next big one, so hit enter.
Expanded.
Okay, and tab in.
Inline with text button to
Okay.
activate. Press space bar.
Inline, that's a really good one because then the text will just wrap right around it.
Text button to activate. Press space bar.
Now, wrapping text is going to be tightly wrapped around the picture, and then you have.
Great. Text button to activate. Press
Okay.
space bar.
That means there's going to be text above and below it. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Shift Tab.
Wrap. Text button to activate. Press
Okay,
space bar.
because that's going to wrap the text tightly around it, so I think I'm going to hit enter on that one.
Wrap text applied.
Okay, and now when I'm done with those options, and those typically are the only ones we really hit, you can tap through the other ones if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and Shift Tab up to close button. I could get out of that with escape, but I don't want my navigation bars to be open. And if you keep them open, you'll find out why. So I'm just going to Shift Tab back up to close.
Text rotate angle block height width size close button.
There it is, and spacebar. Okay.
Content edit.
Now,
Wrap text applied document.
we need to Alt text this. Remember, it was Control Alt Y. Control Alt Y.
Control Y. Alt text dialog.
Okay, tab into your title.
Close button. Title edit. Type of
Okay.
text.
2040 vision. Okay. Now, you could go ahead and put the description, and I'm going to show you how to do the description, or if you're in a rush, depends on how much work you have to do for class, you could just select this out with Control A and copy that. But if you have a little bit more time to add a little more information, remember, this is just for the blind child. So it doesn't say empty graphic or something like that. So this is completely for the blind child, not for the sighted kid. So you can put as much or as little information in it as you want. Okay? Okay, man running, and one pick is 2020, and next pick is 2040. Okay? But remember, this is typically exclusively for the blind person. Now, if you're going to send this out to the world, absolutely. Do a great job on it. If it's just work for the teacher, just remember it's for you. Tap to OK.
OK button.
Spacebar. Okay. Now, how cool is that, right? Okay. Now, you'll notice if you up and down arrow, the picture is going to move, so you have to hit escape to get out. Okay? Hit your end. Okay. So as you're writing a whole bunch. Okay, this text is going to wrap right around the picture. Okay, so just so we can copy it, let's just paste a whole bunch. Okay, so you can see how the information pastes in there. Okay, so let's just add a couple more. And now let's do a picture from the internet. Okay, so you get an idea because most TVIs and other teachers are sighted, so this is just giving you a visual idea of how you do this. Let's go ahead and do one from the computer. So back to Alt-I, down to Image, and Enter. Search the web. Oh, we love that. And of course, most kids are not going to have pictures already uploaded to their pictures, so this is how they're going to really have a lot of fun finding a really, fun picture, fun with their fun story. Hit Enter. Okay. I don't know, funny face. Okay, so as you type, I'm going to hush them up, it will actually start populating words. So I'm just going to down arrow. Funny memes. Okay, we already know those are really, really cool. But if you don't pick out exactly what you want, it's going to be more difficult. Let me tell you why. So I'm going to up arrow, and I'm just going to type in funny face and hit Enter. Okay, now, I'm going to tab around. I'm going to arrow around just so you can hear all the different funny faces. Okay, there's the problem. Okay, so if you know you did a funny face in there, typically, the first one's going to be fine, and that's what I tell the kids. Now, if you know you want a cartoon face, then type in funny cartoon face. So let's Shift Tab back up. But typically, the pictures will not read to you.
Search region.
Okay. funny cartoon face. So you're going to have to be very specific about what you want and then just pick the first picture. I'm going to hit enter again.
Enter a timeline list. Google image search dialog. Tab panel. Images grid list box. Picture.com. 1 of 46.
Yeah.
Move to an item, press
1 of 46. You have 46 options. So if you don't want the first one, just down arrow to any of them, but just realize they're not going to read well. Okay? You get it. But I'm going to go back to, yes, I'm just going to pick the first one. I'm going to hit enter on it. And as soon as you hit enter on it, you're going to tab to insert.
Preview image button. Clear selection. Insert one item.
And spacebar.
Creating images.
Okay. Once again.
Type of text. New line document region. New line document region. Image inserted.
Okay. There we are. Now, once again, you have no idea how large this picture is, so Control Shift left arrow and select it. Okay? And we need to do the exact same thing in formatting it. So hit your applications key.
Context menu.
Okay.
Navigate, press
Up arrow.
Update. Select alt text. Control alt.
Okay. And it reminds you, Control Alt Y, make sure you alt text that.
Image options.
That's what we need. Image options. Hit enter.
Enter. Leaving menus. Image options.
Okay. Tab in. Make sure that lock aspect ratio is selected. I'm going to tell you, typically when you open this again, you are back where you were. So I'm going to tab just to listen to where I'm at.
Close button.
Nope, I'm not. Close. Good.
Size. Rotation. Tab expanded.
Okay. It's already expanded, so I know I'm going to tab immediately through my width, here my height, see how large it is, make sure my lock aspect ratio is checked, then shift tab back up to change it.
Measured in inches. Value must be between 0.01 and 66. Edit 6.5.
Woo!
Text.
Huge.
Height measured in inches. Value must be between 0.01 and 66. Edit 6.5.
Yep, huge. Okay, now I'm going to check my lock aspect ratio.
Width, scale, height, lock aspect ratio checkbox check.
Beautiful. So now I can go up and get it back down to like 2.5. So here we go. Shift tab up. 1, 2, 3. 2.5. Because we know we only have to change one of those to get it. Okay, I'm not going to tab through and change the text wrapping on this because everybody already knows how to do that. So I'm just going to shift tab back to close.
Size, close, button,
and spacebar.
Okay. Image size change to 1.88 inches wide and 1.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to hit escape and I'm going to up arrow
Whole bunch of info. Entering page 1 of 2.
and hit my end key. And I'm going to hit my delete key in order to get my pictures to wrap around the text, just so you can see how the text is wrapped around that. Okay, so that is one incredible fun little thing to do for kids. Get them creatively writing, improving their writing skills. And the next one is Google Slides. Let's go ahead and go to a Google Slide. So I'm going to Alt F. Oh yes, make sure they title it. Let's just hit that quickly first. Alt F. Okay, let's go ahead and name this correctly. So we want to rename, which is R. Okay, title case, funny story. Okay, and they can put by their name in there. Of course, you're going to have their information on the paper anyway, so hit enter on that. Okay, when they're done, they need to share it with you. So of course, Alt F, down to share, hit enter. Okay, of course they need to type in the teacher's name, tab, please see attached. Of course, they've got to hand it in, tab, and tab to send, and enter or spacebar. Okay, beautiful. Okay, I'm so glad I remembered that. Yes, share it out. They must share that story with you. Okay, let's go ahead and do a slide. Alt F. So this is one way, and I'm going to take you back to Drive and show you another way to create this. So down to New, right arrow, and down. Yes, a slide is called a presentation, and enter. Okay. Now, that's one way. Now I'm going to take you back to Drive and show you how to do it from Drive. Okay, just realized I have totally run out of time and I'm gone over an hour. If you like this channel and these lessons, give a thumbs up and keep letting me know what you need, and we will see you next time.